Boy, oh boy, what's going on, everybody? Wired here. I hope you guys are having an excellent, wonderful day. And it seems this boycott of Budlight for partnering with trans activist Dylan Mulvaney just keeps chugging along, and things keep getting worse and worse for the parent company here. I think yesterday I reported Budlight was down $5 billion. It's tapered off a little bit. Now they're down $6 billion, but they're still steadily declining. This boycott's still working. A lot of videos of people posting, just going through their supermarket, going through beer distributors. And, everything else is flying off the shelf. Coors Light is gone, but Bud Light is not doing so well. Bud Light sales are, they're not selling in bars anymore, which I'm sure that effect is going to be felt even more as this boycott continues, because establishments are going to stop stocking the beer if people aren't going to buy them. But they've already been hit $6 billion. I got a tweet here. It says, in light of the backlash against Bud Light, after now losing over $6 billion in brand value, Anheuser-Busch, parent company, is reportedly temporarily halting all marketing efforts to reevaluate the brand's advertising strategies. The brand will also in future evaluate all influencer partnerships with a more robust approach while carefully vetting influencers that enter into paid partnerships with the brand. And I'm just going to say, probably should have been doing that in the first place. I mean, you would think a company as huge as Anheuser-Busch would have been vetting these people in the first place, running into the higher ups. But new details have emerged, coming from the Daily Wire, where the Bud Light higher ups, Anheuser-Busch higher ups, are now talking about this, saying this was a mistake and that the higher ups were completely unaware of what was going on, which I don't really believe. Bud Light is such a huge company. There's not one person who can just be like, let's put this person's face on a can and make them a spokesperson, and it doesn't get run through a bunch of people. This is a major brand. I think it's the biggest beer brand in America. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think so. But I found this article fascinating. I wanted to share this with you. I know I'm harping on this a little bit, but I find this, just absolutely fascinating. I think this is a successful boycott. I think this is really working. Hey, it's the only way these companies are going to pay attention if you stop buying their products. And it seems like they are now paying attention. So, new details emerge over a mistake that led to Bud Light's paid marketing engagement with Dylan Mulvaney. New details emerged over what allegedly happened inside Anheuser-Busch earlier this spring that led to a highly controversial influencer landing a paid marketing engagement with one of the company's top brands, Bud Light, and how the company has responded to the backlash. No one at the senior level of the company was aware of Bud Light's polarizing partnership with Dylan Mulvaney, sources close to the situation claim. The company is also allegedly pausing its marketing efforts and scrambling to implement a more robust process for evaluating future influencer partnerships. Well, that tells me two things. One, I highly doubt that's true, that no higher-ups or no senior executives had any idea what was going on. How did this person's face get on a can and they shipped it to him without anybody noticing? I guarantee you that's just not some woke worker on the assembly line who's going to figure out how to do that. That comes from somewhere. So I think this is all a bunch of cap. I think this is all a bunch of, try to shirk the blame, sweep it under the rug. But the second thing is they're panicking right now. They're panicking. They're down $6 billion within a 2-week period, and it's probably going to keep going lower. Just don't buy their product, and now they're freaking out. They're not going to get that $6 billion back. This is huge. This is a huge boycott, and this has only been 2 weeks. The longer Bud Light stays shelved in all these different places, people are going to stop buying it. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And even if it starts picking back up to where it was, you're not going to get this money back. This money is gone due to this mistake. The claims come despite the company's vice president of marketing recently touting her mandate to make the brand more inclusive, and after the company issued a statement confirming the partnership and describing it as an attempt to authentically connect with audiences across various demographics and passion points. Everybody seemed aware of it then. The VP had a very clear message. I've played that before on the channel. I think 2 or 3 times, actually. Controversy started with Mulvaney, a biological male who claims he is a woman, announced earlier this month on Instagram that Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Perfect gift for a narcissist. I think the perfect gift for Dylan Mulvaney would be a mirror. That's what I would think. Yeah, send I guess her or him. I don't know. YouTube, please don't ban me. I'm just confused on the pronouns. But send him a mirror. Happy March Madness, Mulvaney wrote as a caption on Instagram post. Just found out this has to do with sports, with sports, and not just saying it's a crazy month. Referring to March Madness and hashtagging Budlight partner, obviously because of the new partnership. As the Daily Wire previously reported, there was initial confusion as to whether the announcement was real because Budlight's official social media pages and press page made no mention of a partnership with Mulvaney. Well, I think it's real when they get a can with their face on it. Let me know down in the comments, anyone ever get a can with their... I've never got a can with my face on it, but I also don't drink Bud Light. But influential conservative activist Rogan O'Hanley, known as DC Drano on Twitter, said last week the sources inside the company told him that C-level executives were angered over the marketing engagement with Mulvaney. Former Newsmax host John Cardello wrote on Twitter that it appeared that those same executives did not approve Mulvaney campaign. Well, who approved it then? Somebody had to. But I'll read out this tweet really quick here. As I've been digging into this, I'm finding this to be 100% true. Anheuser-Busch has donated far more to GOP candidates than Dems and far more than woke Molson Coors. Looks like Dylan Mulvaney campaign was not approved by senior execs. Heads should be rolling. I completely agree. You know, whoever authorized this, if they didn't, and I don't really believe that because there'd be a mass firing. Somebody just cost them $6 billion. $6 billion, and they're not going to come out and fire this person. They got to throw somebody under the bus if they want people to accept this. And even if they do that, I don't think all people will. I don't think that's going to happen. Daily Wire spoke with two sources close to the situation who also claimed that the decision to have Mulvaney be part of an advertising campaign targeting younger consumers was not approved by anyone in the senior level of the company. Yeah, that's also an odd stance for a beer distributor to take. We really want to target younger people because that could be misconstrued in a lot of ways. I'm sure they're talking about the legal drinking age, but that could be misconstrued. No one at the senior level was aware this was happening. As one source said, some low-level marketing staffer who helps manage the hundreds of influencer engagements must have thought it was no big deal. Obviously it was, and it's a shame because they have a well-earned reputation of being America's beer, not a political company. It was a mistake. Yeah, a huge one, $6 billion mistake. A second source also claimed that a lower-level employee had made the decision to include Mulvaney in the campaign, a move that appears to have cost the company $5 billion in market value. Yeah, I'm sure it was just some, woke assembly line worker just wanted to, pop a new face on a can. It sounds easy to do, and you could probably, just sneak it by. I don't know. It doesn't. That sounds a lot. That's sus to me. Backlash to the iconic American beer brand has been so intense that a Budweiser distributor in Missouri canceled an event with the company's famous Clydesdale horses because everything was still sensitive over the matter. Anheuser-Busch's vice president of communications, Jennifer Morris, locked her Twitter account in recent days, said in an industry event in 2021 that she felt it was important to leverage our scale and research to further conversations around diversity, equity, inclusion, and help consumers understand difference that they can make as individuals. I don't see why that would be. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with some companies doing that, even though I think companies should completely avoid politics. But why is Bud Light doing this? Why is Anheuser-Busch doing this? You are selling beer. And from what I know about marketing, which I already said is pretty limited, you never alienate the customers you already have to acquire new customers. That's not a good marketing strategy. And I say that knowing next to nothing about marketing. But you never, bite your nose to spite your face or whatever. So I think this was a massive mistake. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. What do you think about this? That this was senior executives are completely unaware of this. I think this is a load of BS. I can't possibly see something like this getting out with someone's face on the can. I could see maybe Dylan Mulvaney doing this if they were just cracking Bud Lights or something like that. But they said they're partnering with him. They have their face on a can. This is all very sus to me. But anyway, I'm going to keep covering this story. I want to see how low this stock goes and how much it tanks. And, you know, this is another classic example of get woke, go broke. We saw it with Gillette. We're seeing it with Nike. Now we've seen it with a ton of other, like, you know, this is, when will they learn? Well, when they lose money, then they'll learn. Anyway, that's all I got. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't subscribed. Really appreciate that. And I will catch everybody in the next one. Later.